Ladies and gentlemen, as happy as I am to see you all tonight, I know the question that's on all your minds. Why did Beagle disappear for 2 weeks? Luckily, the answer is quite simple. About 2 weeks ago, I died. Now that everyone's satisfied with that explanation, we can move on to the important business, and that's Operation Cursed Hammer. Command tells us we're headed for Benin City in Nigeria, but as soon as we touch down, the truth is clear. The bastards have sent us back to Mumbai. Now for those of you who missed it, Mumbai was one of Season 1's less successful missions. So it goes without saying I'm not particularly happy to be back in this train yard. However, the big difference is last time we were here on a bomb mission, whereas this time it's just a standard abduction. That means we've got all the time in the world to spend, and believe me, I intend to use it. Right off the bat, I use a battle scanner to check our immediate drop zone, and with the area clear, I make a cautious advance to the nearby rail cars. The long corridors made by all these carriages make very long, focused firing lanes. So after Tackled checks the flank, we move our snipers into position to exploit the terrain. And just as well we did, because the fight is on.
Look sharp. Enemies rolling up.
Now when 3 floaters wander into your kill zone, any anti-alien sniper worth their salt is going to be shooting first and asking questions never. But before we can start popping off rounds, it's important to check just who can hit who. Atlantan's got an angle on 2 of the enemies, whereas Ranos is limited to just 1. So naturally, Ranos should fire first.
He's down.
Like a ballistic high five, Atlantan completes the Sniper Bro handshake, leaving 4 angry humans to run a train on the last floater. But if we've learned anything about XCOM, it's not to get cocky. So suppression and hard cover ensure the last enemy is handled at a safe pace. Otter keeping him pinned means Ranos has time to cross the street and set up his rifle. Meanwhile, Otter and Toothcake can now flank around while Ghostad takes over the pinning with his rifle suppression. It's going all too smoothly, and as we know, smoothness isn't what this game is known for, which is precisely why it doesn't stay smooth for long.
Enemy in sight.
With another 3 floaters now hitting our flank, it's well timed to finish off the straggler. Now Ranos is closest to the new enemy, but I feel comfortable that his hard cover and awkward angle will keep him safe and concealed on his right, so he leads the way on the anti-straggler initiative. His shot doesn't kill, but it ensures Otter's frag is certain death.
Grenade out.
With that business concluded, the rest of the squad can reorient towards the new threat before they're flanked into the ether. Now you remember I felt comfortable with Ranos' cover and concealment. Well, let me show you what XCOM thinks of comfortable. Oh god, it's happening again. I'm going to break this down very clearly and distinctly so you don't make the mistake I just did. There are exceptions, but generally, if you're playing XCOM and you feel comfortable, something is wrong. Feeling comfortable is when your brain should be shouting, "Oh no, wake up, reconsider everything you're about to do before an alien completely no-scopes you." Whether or not I deserve it though, I do get a break here. Ranos is down, but he's not out. But with 3 turns until he bleeds to death, it's an all too familiar race against the clock. Luckily, as Toothcake is essentially the Stig, he and Racing go hand in hand, so with a hasty run and gun, he leads the assault. Tackled puts down some solid cover fire, and Atlantan runs up to save his bro.
Bye-bye. X-ray down.
With Otter and Ghostad a bit too far to properly engage, they hold up the rear, and GDR's smoke ensures we don't have any more hard cover accidents. As it turns out though, the last floater is also the smartest.
They're trying to pull back.
That removes the threat for now, but he could be back at any moment. So what's important here is setting up a strong screen of cover while a medic moves for Ranos. And as it happens, it's the perfect way for Toothcake to do a little boxing.
Planted him.
Yes, in what is perhaps the most insane trick shot since Otter's wall rocket, Toothcake puts a laser through a nail-wide plank gap, which is why he's the box expert and you're not. With the last enemy down, the squad keeps watch while Tackled brings the smelling salts. Naturally, Ranos wants a second opinion, so Ghost Dad comes round for some tag team medicine. Quite notably, this is the first time I've ever actually used Revive, like, ever. And hopefully, it'll also be the last. But with the squad ready to move, there's still half a train yard to clear, and the chitter on the wind suggests some less than happy passengers. A quick toss of Atlantan's second scanner reveals, well, nothing. The scanner is a great tool, but it suffers from line-of-sight problems just like a soldier would, which means our sectoid buddies could quite easily be hiding behind those carriages. As usual, the best way to find out is to take our guns and go for a walk. And as we find the sectoids, it becomes very clear that the sniper bros are not messing around.
Dead and gone.
The pinpoint pistolary nets us an easy kill, but the other two have scurried for cover. Now Ghost Dad and Toothcake head for the front, Tackled heads for the flank, and the rest of the squad holds and covers in case of any sectoid Rambos. But in this situation, the aliens seem happy to defend, which means it's on us to find a good advance. The Ghost Dad regains contact with one of them, but the odds of this firefight aren't exactly stellar. Remember, however, what we used at the start. The long, focused hallways of these carriages are the perfect terrain for sniper support, and Ranos prepares to lend a hand. With the enemy pinned and his doom approaching, once again, things seem to be going smoothly. And once again, it doesn't last.
Eyes on target. Out of the game.
Toothcake swings an excellent reaction, but that's still 2 more enemies, and they're sticking a fork in our flank. So it's up to Ranos to even the odds.
He's down.
Yeah, it's not so funny when you get shot, is it? With the closest contact down, that leaves 3 angry sectoids somewhere on the far side of the carriage. The squad hunkers down to receive any counterattack, but the aliens continue to be ultra defensive. Now, where there's defensive aliens, you can guarantee enemy overwatch. But luckily, we've got just the man for the job.
Incoming fire.
As you'd guess, Toothcake spots the aliens all holed up in the railcar. Now, it's a good defensive position, and from where we are, the line of sight makes it really awkward to hit. But because the aliens stay so ultra defensive, we've got all the time in the world to flank them, frustrate them, and destroy them.
Excellent work. All objectives complete.
So ends Operation Cursed Hammer, a clean sweep that finally puts the spirits of Mumbai at peace. Brazil is considerably less peaceful, but as usual we have no time for whiny babies, and head back to base for some well-deserved promotions. Ranos picks Opportunist like Atlantan before him, takes his captain's insignia, and heads to sickbay for a nap. Now Lieutenant Toothcake has a similarly easy choice. Flush, by its description, sounds vaguely useful. An easy-to-hit shot that causes the enemy to run out of cover. Unfortunately, in practice, all this means is that they run to some other cover, or they withdraw and then come back next turn. It has a very specific use of forcing aliens to run into an Overwatch shot, but honestly, I'd prefer to just shoot them normally. Rapid Fire, on the other hand, is one of the best talents in the game. Basically, imagine the amount of damage that a killing machine like Toothcake deals in a turn, and then double it. For a small aim penalty, Rapid Fire lets you take 2 shots at once, which is invaluable when something close to you really needs to die. Also, despite the aim penalty, it's often better to take 2 45% instead of 1 60%. The fact that Rapid Fire gives you incredible killing power and better odds to hit in one package makes it so good it's practically cheating. But it isn't cheating, so it's Toothcake's next pickup. On the base front, it's almost the end of the month, and as our satellite uplink completes on schedule, it's time to save a country. Just like we planned, Brazil's panic can now be countered with a satellite, and having full coverage over South America means we finally have the We Have Ways bonus, which means instant autopsies and interrogations. So, once experimental warfare finishes, it's time for our resident surgeon to have a morgue Monday.
We've taken to calling this specimen a chrysalid,
Well, yeah, because his name's Chris.
unofficially referred to as the Thin Man.
Well, yeah, because he works out.
Although I'm sure you can make the connection yourself, we've designated this particular specimen as a floater.
Yeah, I get it, Doctor, because he looks like poop. I'm not an idiot. Anyway, with the guts all got, the only thing left to do is finish our last satellite, and pick who the second country will be. Now, I don't think I showed this until now, but I got a special offer a couple of weeks back from Russia to put a satellite over them for a cool 200 space bucks. But on the other hand, I could save Germany or Egypt. Screw it.
Satellite launched.
Honestly, I expect to get called out on this as a bad move, and looking back, I'm not even sure it's the right choice myself. But at the time, I basically felt neither Germany or Egypt were worth $200. So if you live in Germany or Egypt, sorry I guess. With a wad of blood money in hand, we get a new interceptor for Russia, a defense boost made possible by our floater autopsy, and we finally build an alien containment to go with the arc throwers we're researching. Predictably, Egypt and Germany are kinda pissed about being blown off for 200 bucks, but the rest of the world sees my point of view. A scant few days into May, the aliens are at it again, and it's time to get back on the engineer train with a cordial visit to Gay Paris. And thanks to our fashionable new uniforms, the team is ready for action.
We have visual on the mission site. Setting down.
For another optimistically titled adventure, join us next time on Operation Dark Skull. Until then, bon voyage.
We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.